Now, with Diddy being denied that bail in the appeal yesterday, with Diddy being denied the bail in the appeal yesterday, he will be still housed. Like, he's going to be sitting down for some time. And there have been some people reacting to this. There are a bunch of celebrities online right now who are expressing things all over the place. So one of them is Boosie. So Boosie tweeted 2 very long tweets. He said, I feel Diddy is in jail for basically doing what every other famous entertainer has done. Flew bitches out for threesomes. He's just freakier. We actually go call women prostitutes who fly in willingly to be with their partners for sex. If that's the case, if you've been flued out, had sex, you should be labeled a prostitute. If that's the case, that's 80% of the women reading this. And trafficking. Hell nah. You're a celebrity. You gotta fly the P word in. I can say that?
No.
Okay, you gotta fly the P word in. How else you got to get the P word? You're never in one place. When I saw that video, I was pissed at... Okay, wait, Boosie. When I saw that video, I was pissed off at the nigga, but he really got a problem. But facing life in prison for doing basically what so many other entertainers have done, hashtag I disagree. I'm starting to feel like this sex trafficking charge for flying bitches out and for threesomes will be a tool they use to take down hip-hop artists and celebrities. Just think about it. Who flying the yeah-yeahs in to turn up? Who also in a different city and got to fly the P word to them? Who ain't tripping and go give they sex partner a little change? Think about it. Oh, he's saying hip-hop artists are the only people that do that. So this is a targeted attack, and it's starting with Diddy. Think about this. It's real. If you fly a chicken, y'all turn up, you give her a little change so she's straight when she get home, that's sex trafficking.
I have no idea what Boosie is talking about, and I don't think Boosie knows what he's talking about because Boosie or none of these brothers clearly know the law. That's all I'm getting from any of these these statements that they're making.
I want to read
I was going to ask, what is the definition of sex trafficking?
You know I'm there.
Thank you.
And
I want to read a definition.
One more thing. Also, if you know about these other entertainers doing this, then guess what? You're now making yourself a witness to crimes.
An accessory. Yeah, but okay, what's the definition of sex trafficking? Because when people think sex trafficking, most people, I think minors, thinking state to state, but that's not the only definition.
Right. So sex trafficking, the definition is the action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country or area to another for the purpose of sexual exploitation. A deeper definition is the act of using force, fraud, or coercion to compel someone to participate in commercial sex acts, usually in exchange for something of value. So there is the difference is if your girlfriend or your little boo or your little yeah want to fly out, and she's willingly flying out, she's willingly consenting to having sex, she doesn't feel like she's being, compelled
coerced,
to do something, coerced. She's not afraid for her life. You're not forcing her to do anything. It's not commercial. Like, she's not an actual sex worker. Even with sex workers, they have to choose to want to do this on their own time.
But no, Lauren, that's not true, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you're flying in these sex workers, how do we know these sex workers aren't being trafficked?
What do you mean? No, I'm getting it.
If you're flying in sex workers, how do you know these sex workers aren't being trafficked by somebody?
Like they don't have a quote-unquote pimp or somebody above them that's getting profit off of it.
Basically, because that's what came up in court yesterday with Diddy, where the judge was like, well, isn't that, you're telling me that a third party who is a sex worker flew across state lines or wherever to be with Diddy and the girl at the time, they're talking about Cassie, allegedly. That's trafficking. And what they tried to define was that the attorney was like, well, I spoke to the agency that is basically over this sex worker and they weren't paid for sex. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, and I'm sure the judge was like, who's going to say that they were paid for sex?
Listen,
who's going to say that,
Yeah, it can get really sticky, but basically if it's a personal choice and a person doesn't feel all of these things, like basically being put into a corner, like there's consequence, all of that, but one wrong misstep, you may be sex trafficking and you might not. People need to really understand the definition of it and understand what we're looking at.
So is sex trafficking if somebody flies somebody out and then gives them change after? That's not sex trafficking, correct? Because that's what Boosie basically was saying.
Well, according to these two definitions, no, because you would have your intent behind giving them money or whatever the exchange is would have to be exploitation, to force someone to do something, to coerce them, or to compel them to do something. Like, if someone's willing to do something and they do it, and then whatever, I think the exchange of money and the malice behind the exchange of money matter. I'm not an attorney, y'all. I just can read and comprehend, but that's what I'm understanding from this.
Yeah, this isn't you meeting a woman somewhere or DMing her online, and then y'all form a consensual relationship and you fly her out to spend some time with you. That's not this.
Right.
These brothers clearly don't know the law, and they need to learn the law. It doesn't matter what you think is normal or even what you have normalized if it's illegal.
Right.
Like, it's just that simple.
Well, I wanted to talk about how Diddy's going to be housed now. I know that we had some info that we had received from a source close, so I wanted to talk about kind of like how his situation would be set up. You got it.
I sent it to you. Didn't I send it to you?
No.
Oh, I gotta find it then. I thought I sent it to you.
Well, basically, it's going to be protective custody, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
And that's just because of who he is, but also how high profile the case is.
Yeah, they said that in jail it might be like a badge of honor to hurt or do something to Diddy, or even to touch Diddy. It would be like a badge of honor. So they're gonna have him in solitary confinement where he's away from everybody else, protective custody, that's what they call it. They said that he's going to be in a cell by himself, and he'll have a bathroom in there, and that was pretty much it. They believe that they probably
might scare some inmates.
This is all alleged, according to a source.
Yeah, according to a source.
But that's typical though. Normally, when a high profile person comes into a prison whatsoever. So,
but don't act like people might not be scared of him.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, you're right.
Let us move on
Baby
now.
oil all over the place.
So yesterday, the nominations for the BET Hip Hop Awards came out. Can we get some claps?
Oh, I'm listening to nobody else with the clap.
I don't run the board.
Oh.
I'm listening.
So, nominated for Best Hip Hop Platform. Can you guys guess who's in this list?
We're listening.
The Breakfast Club.
Hey,
drop a
bomb
bomb for us.
Yes, so the Breakfast Club is amongst many others.
Who we going against?
$1 Million worth of game, On the Radar, Drink Champs, Club Shay Shay, Bootleg Kev, Complex, The Shade Room, Double XL.
There's some great names on that list. I want to drop on the clues bombs for my man Gabe, On the Radar. You know, watch that from the ground up. Drop on the clues bombs for my man Bootleg Kev. Drop on the clues bombs for $1 million worth of games. Salute to Wallow. Wallow just made the New York Times bestsellers list with his book, Arm of Good Intentions. Drop on the clues bombs for Drink Champs. My guys, Nori,
what up? Club Shay Shay had an amazing
on the
year.
Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network.
The Joe Budden Podcast is on here too.
Salute to Joe. Drop on the clues bombs for Joe Budden Podcast. Let me tell you something about
Club Shay Shay too.
Is Shay Shay a hip hop platform though?
That's what they giving
Do they
them.
do enough hip hop?
Well, I was about to say that's what they giving the girls. I don't want to do like that. My bad. But that's what they giving them.
He's had hip hop acts on there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's had that.
Yep.
I look at that as more of a pop culture platform.
And he's had a phenomenal year.
He stretches across things, but I think because a lot of artists are seeding there, you know, in general, they want to give that to him. But
how many hip hop artists have been on it? I'm just thinking this year. I've seen the Baby one before. I've seen Offset. Seen
21 Savage. Yeah.
Who else?
I guess to be honest with you, most of these platforms I wouldn't say just strictly center on hip hop, except for
On the Radar.
On the Radar.
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to branch out, but you know what? I think that you guys and what you guys have done up here for so many years, credit to y'all, is a big part of that reason why you guys gave, like, there's a lot of voices in hip hop media now that see that you don't just have to
just do hip hop.
Do hip hop because hip hop is in so much, our culture is in so much. And in wrapping this up, I did want to mention the category of hip hop artist of the year got the people in a frenzy, because in this category, I'm not going to list everybody. I'm just going to list certain names. They have Drake, Future, Kendrick Lamar, and Nicki Minaj.
And what, best hip hop artist of the year or something like that?
People are like, y'all
it's Kendrick. It's not even
so
close.
shady.
But that's what it should be, though. These have been the biggest acts in hip hop this year.
That's right.
Drake and Kendrick definitely should be there. Future for what he's done. Nicki Minaj, of course.
Future put out 2 albums this year.
And then
Nicki had a phenomenal year. That's not shady.
And then in lyrics, because after that, lyricist of the year and wrap up, they have Kendrick Lamar, Lil Wayne,
Kendrick,
Nicki Minaj.
Drake should be in that one too.
But I think it's in Drake. So Drake is in this one too.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the whole Super Bowl conversation,
Kendrick
and not like us conversation.
But that's what this year has been about, though.
It has been.
And like Charlamagne said, I think Kendrick wins all that this year.
We're gonna look forward to those awards and see. Hopefully, I hope those people show up. Like, it'll be good to see them there. But
they probably won't.
Yeah, probably not. Alrighty, y'all. That's the mess for this hour.
All right, Charlamagne.
Yes.
Who you giving that donkey to?
Man, 4 after the hour. First of all, don't talk to me like you're a booty warrior. Okay.
I didn't say who you giving that oily donkey to. I said who you giving that donkey to. I didn't say oily
There's
donkey.
There's a new booty warrior on the block, y'all. Okay.
What's his name?
No,
booty warrior is insane.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her, please.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.